Okay, welcome to another High Tide Imbibe, and we have one from North Brewing here. I think this is a fairly recent release from them. I'm pretty sure it's pretty brand new. Brewed in April 8th, 2020. This is their B.Y.O.B, or Bring Your Own Beer, light beer from North here, out of Dartmouth, and 3.5% alcohol by volume. So it says light, citrusy, barbecue ready. And they say here, ingredients: water, malt, flaked corn, hops, yeast, and citrus zest. So I did not check and see if this was supposed to be a ale or lager, but I assume lager because they say light beer. And this is supposed to be sort of a barbecue beer, patio beer, a light refreshing beer that you can do for like day drinking. And I think some of the thought behind this is kind of what you do with like a Corona or something that light, where you put, even though there's other historical reasons apparently for putting like the lime in Corona, they say to like make the flies go away or whatever other shit that you hear. That's not the reason anymore, right? They just do it for flavor purposes now to, actually give Corona some sort of flavor. And so here they're cutting out the middleman, and they're putting some citrus zest. I assume it's lemon and lime. They even have the lemons and limes right on the actual art here, sitting on like a picnic table, and you got a barbecue in the background. So there you go. And it's very, very light. Fairly well filtered. I think there's a little bit of haze in there, but it's not a lot. And it looks like a Corona, honestly. Like it's that kind of real pale yellow. Got a nice white head there. And scratch my nose, and then we'll right back at it here. All right, so let's go to the aroma. And there you go. You can see that barbecue grill. It's that time of year. Finally. And yeah, it does. Smells like a Corona with more weight to it. Like, Corona is very, very light. Like, so light that it's like, why am I even drinking this? This, at least, you do get a bit of the malt. Citrus here, it's kind of in that lemon lime thing. Like, it is very faint. It's at first it's a little nondescript, but you take a little bit of a draw on it with your nose, and it's like, yeah, okay, so lemon lime mix here. And it smells pretty good. Yeah, it sort of replicates, but also does the aroma of like a any sort of like fruit wedge in a Corona way better. So we'll go to the taste. Cheers. They list the IBUs on this? I don't think they do. No. There is a bit of a crisp, bitter finish. Not super big or anything like that. Flaked corn, yeah. Like again, flaked corn, citrus zest. It's funny. It's really funny. And some other beers I'll probably be reviewing here very soon. They've all sort of shown up around the same time. I went to the NSLC the other day, and then a shit ton of stuff showed up that was new this week. Seeing a lot of craft breweries now doing what sort of the opposite side of the coin of what the big macros have been doing for years now in a response to craft brewing. You see like your Budweisers and anything sort of under their umbrella, and any other sort of like big macro companies were taking a little bit of a page of the book of the craft breweries, and like, oh, here's all of a sudden, I don't think they actually made this, but just as a sort of hypothetical example, here's Budweiser Stout. I mean, actually, they kind of do have a barrel aged stout at this point, right? With the Bourbon County or whatever. But I mean, like it would be under the like the Budweiser label, or they'd make up a fake label and see, like crafted amber ale or any sort of bullshit like that, like something that would be it would sort of catch the eye of people who are more aware of like different styles of beer and stuff like that, and of course their prices would be slightly better than like a craft brewery's prices usually. So they'll try to sell like their amber ale or their Irish red or their barrel aged stout or their IPA. You see a lot of these big breweries all of a sudden start doing IPAs, or they do their small batch series or whatever the fuck, right? And a lot of those were just absolute dog shit. Like, let's be frank about it. They're a lot better now. Usually you don't see dog shit ones anymore. Like, you look at like Moosehead with their small batch stuff. Generally really pretty fucking good. Like way above just sort of the sort of baseline between good and terrible. Like just way better than you really would expect any of that stuff to be. And now you see the craft breweries sort of responding in kind and like, oh well, you're going to do that. Let's make a really good light lager, and let's cut out the middleman with the limes and shit, and let's just fucking do it. Here, Corona, fuck you. Here, Budweiser, fuck you. Here's our light lager. Here's our macro lager. We'll even use the same ingredients. We'll use rice. We'll use corn. Whatever. We'll make the same kind of beer that you make, but we'll do it with more care and better. Now, of course, the craft breweries don't have the big industrial system behind them and all the scientists in labs fucking making the formula perfect, and they won't have necessarily the batch consistency that like a Budweiser will have. Like that's kind of where Budweiser is always going to beat craft breweries, right? But I mean, batch consistency doesn't necessarily mean anything when your beer isn't all that good. And I mean, there's plenty of beers sort of under the Budweiser umbrella that are probably pretty damn good. Budweiser ain't one of them. I'm sorry. So I'd go for this. Like, Corona? Fuck Corona. Corona sucks. I hate Corona. This, I would buy. Because it's actually got some flavor. It's actually got a little bit of heft to it. Like, it's still a light beer. Drinks very light. But like I said, it cuts out the middleman. The citrus flavor there is good. And it's perfect for, like a warm spring, hot summer day. Sit out with the barbecue. Like, this is a perfect food to pair with beer. Perfect beer to pair with food. Blah, 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 blah. My brain is not working. But yeah. No, and I think I've rambled a little too long here. But so basically what they're going for here is light lager. I mean, that's sort of light macro lager. And in that regard, it's pretty good. It's got a little bit of a good malt taste going there. Drinks very light. Has a little bit of bitterness in the finish. And the added touch of the citrus zest in it is just a nice little flourish that gives it a bit more flavor. Oh, excuse me. It gives it a bit more flavor. And it's not overly carbonated or anything like that. But it is refreshing. For style, it's just like a light lager. That's kind of where I'm going to fit it in. I mean, if you want to go for like flavored beer of some sort, like or fruit beer or some bullshit like that, I guess you can do that. I think it kind of hits fairly good marks even for that kind of stuff. But as just a light lager, I'm going to go 9. It's really good for what it's supposed to be. And for my overall enjoyment, I'm going to give it a good solid 7. This is definitely something that I could drink and not have to think about and at the end of the day really enjoy. And it's not going to get you too drunk. It's 3.5%. It's craft beer, so it costs a little bit more, so you're not going to be buying a lot of them. Not necessarily. And it's a good one just to sit out and drink and enjoy yourself, enjoy the day, and not have to worry about getting like weighed down by like a big bourbon barrel aged whatever the fuck, So there you go. And yeah. So a 9 and a 7 And we will be back again with another High Tide Imbibe very soon. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.